What's up, guys? In this video, it's going to be a twofold video. It's a live trading video. I am in a long right now, and I'll talk about my position, what's happening, and we'll watch this thing rip in my favor. But this is actually really my first trade of the year, which actually started back here, and I just added into this trade. But I also want to talk about, is Bitcoin dead? If you watch the news, or if you pay attention to anybody in the media, there's a lot of naysayers with Bitcoin right now, and that's for a pretty good reason. I mean, the uneducated person or the ignorant person might not really understand Bitcoin that much. And if you look back at the chart back here from the late part of 2013, this is what I call the China bubble, right? Where the price went from like $100 over to over 1,000, and then we're down, to 200, right? So it is off of its highs a massive percentage. And I just first want to say, this is not, in my opinion, this is not a bad thing. That Bitcoin at 200, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. I think Bitcoin at 1,000 was a bad thing. And if you don't believe me, come back and read this blog and watch this video that I posted here on November 21st, 2013. Okay. Is Bitcoin a good investment? And I made a case that, Bitcoin is a good thing. However, it's not a good idea to buy up here at this time. It was up around 800 or 900 bucks, right? You can read through this. Um, this was not healthy, guys. This was the China bubble. This was, you know, this was created by over exuberant bullishness. And I told people it was not healthy. I told people not to buy up here. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't listen to me. And fortunately, a lot of people did listen to me. So, since then, if you've been watching my videos for any period of time, you know that I've absolutely been crushing it with Bitcoin trading. I've been posting all of my trades publicly for over a year now and have been doing extremely, extremely well. I'm very accurate with my trade predictions. And I don't say that to toot my own horn. I just say that to, show you guys that this is the real deal. I know what I'm talking about. And hopefully by now you understand that Bitcoin is not just a buy and hope strategy. Okay. So with that said, let's kind of zoom out here. Let's go to a 1 hour chart, and I want to talk about the current trade and what's going on. And there really is a five-stage process that Bitcoin is going through when it comes to adoption. And I actually got this from Forbes, but basically, in 2009, whenever Bitcoin started, this was the experimentation phase. It was basically just hackers and geeks sitting around playing with Bitcoin. Nobody really knew what it was going to turn into. Whoever Satoshi was had or is, um, I think he's still alive, maybe. Um, he had this idea that Bitcoin could change the world, and it has. It's blown up, and it's really shaken things up. And then over the past few years, we had the early adopters phase. I know a lot of people that have made millions of dollars in Bitcoin because they got in at the right time, and then I know people that lost a lot of money because they invested emotionally. Right now we're in, phase three, the venture capital phase. And as an angel investor myself, I'm interested in, and I'm constantly evaluating startups in the Bitcoin and the digital community space. Um, and I think, what was it, this week, Coinbase just raised another 75 million bucks, right? So this is a real thing, guys. This isn't a fad. Is Bitcoin going to be the same in a year or 10 years as it is today? Is it going to look, feel, and work the same way that it does today? Probably not. Is Bitcoin going to be the prominent digital currency? I don't know. It's still yet to be seen. But, just to go back to pricing and talk about what's happening, the price of Bitcoin is irrelevant to the overall success or failure um, of Bitcoin as a protocol, as a tool, right? A currency is really just one app of what Bitcoin can do. It's a very important piece of the puzzle, right? And it's where 99% of the emotions lie. But I don't think, whenever I look at this chart and I look at Bitcoin at 200, I don't look at that and say, oh my God, Bitcoin's dead, right? What I do is I say, oh my God, there has been a lot of emotion in Bitcoin, right? I've seen charts like this happen in gold, in housing. There's a tremendous amount of emotional buying and selling that we've seen over the past year or two. And if you were smart and if you actually learn how to trade it, you could have made money on the downside, which we've done. My traders and I and people that are part of the Bitcoin Trading Academy have done really well actually shorting Bitcoin. All right. So hopefully that just gives you a little bit of an insight as to my thoughts on where Bitcoin is right now. And no, I don't think Bitcoin's dead. Do I think it's going to change and evolve over time? Absolutely. So let's talk about my latest trade. And this was a trade alert that I sent out here on I believe January 14th to my trading students. I said, look guys, I am buying, and this was actually my first trade of the year here, where I started buying in the 180s. So right here, and then I sent an alert, and my guys had about 17 hours to get into this trade. So this wasn't like, you know, some people have said, well, Chris, you're probably just a pumper, right? You get in, you send a trade alert, and look, number one, guys, this isn't penny stocks, okay? Bitcoin is very, very liquid. I would have to be trading with $10 million to really be a pumper in this market, and that's not my goal. I give everybody, especially my trading students who get my trade alerts ahead of time, what my plan is, where I want to get in, where I'd stop out, where my targets are. I give my whole plan of action. I'm completely transparent with this stuff ahead of time. So anyway, I started in here around the 180s, started to take some profit here in the low 200s, and then right now I've actually been buying on the break of this resistance zone. I think there's a lot of stubborn shorts in this market that are just saying, look, Bitcoin's dead. I'm just going to short the hell out of this thing and hope for the best. If you look at the volume right here, so this is an hourly chart. If you look at the volume, let me pull up an arrow. So if you look at the volume right there, you can see this is the strongest buying volume that we've had all week. In like 4 or 5 days. And so, with that being a key break of resistance here around 220, I think if buyers hang on and stay in control, we could come up and see 260 to 275 again. Now, will that happen? I don't know. All I do as a trader is I come in with a hypothesis and an idea, and I say, look, based on the probabilities and based on risk management, I think this is a good trade, which is why I bought down here. And I've gotten really good at picking lows in these markets. And the reason why is because I understand price action, and I understand human psychology. And so I've been trading for almost 15 years now, and you know, especially in markets like Bitcoin where there's so much emotion, it's kind of easy to spot this. But anyway, started buying here, covered up, and started actually adding here today. For those of you that are following me on Twitter, you know that. I just started in here around, or actually a little below 220. So we've made it up to a high of the high 220s. So I'm up about, $5-10 a coin, which again is not that's not what I'm going for. I'm not a scalper in Bitcoin. I'm going for the bigger moves. I'll probably cover some profit up here in the 240s or 250s, at least take part of the position. But my average entry here is so low because remember I got in down here around the 180s. So I'm just adding to my existing long here. If you're getting into a new position, you need to be a little more cautious here around 220, 225, because, let's say that buyers fizzle out here and they trap it, you'd probably want to take profit fairly quickly. But with that said, I do think we're going to see, at least in the short term, higher prices here, just because, I think there's a lot of stubborn shorts, and I think Bitcoin's on sale right now. It really is. And I think that I don't know if this is going to happen today or over the next couple of days, but I do think we're going to see higher prices. And if not, I'll just take the rest of my profits, and on this part of the position just take a break even. I'm not going to take massive losses, and I think risk management is just very, very key in the Bitcoin market. It's whenever you get emotional and just try to hold and hope for the best that you really start to get run over. So we go down to a 5-minute chart. And I'll kind of be more precise. I started actually buying right here. You can see, and I send an alert out to my students right here saying, okay, guys, we have some real volume coming in, bought on the dip here, and 218, 220, I was scaling in. And then We actually had a little bit of a pennant breakout pattern here. So scaled in some more here around 220s, and you can see we're up around 228 right now. So, and that's good volume. This isn't like tiny volume. I only like to trade Bitcoin whenever there's actually volume present. So, if you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and do that. We're having a really good time right now. It's just Chris Dunn TV is my handle. And let me know if you have any questions. Look forward to talking to you soon. Hope this video is helpful, guys. Take care.